This is a horror game podcast. It is meant for mature audiences. It may contain shocking revelations, violence, and sexual themes. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I are playing the Delta Green role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Dead Letter. It was written by Adam Scott Glancy, and it can be found in Delta Green Countdown. It's available from Drive-Thru RPG. Our handler is Robert Bocchiere, and this is episode 2. Our recap will be given by Joseph Clay as his character, Agent Mailman. But before we begin, we have a new patron. Seoptic has pledged $5 a month to our club. Thank you so much, Seoptic. That being said, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Joe?
After being pulled from our God-given day off, we met in sunny California with fresh tickets to the opera. We arrived Labor Day weekend in Berkeley, California to meet an Agent Drake. Agent Drake, our handler, met us at a post office and shows us a very curious package that seemed to contain an oily fluid. We were told the bomb squad came in to investigate, and once it was cleared, the package was opened to reveal the severed head of a dog. And this dog seemed to be still moving, and it seemed the head had been surgically removed with some type of medical instrument. Myself, Agents Malarity, Midnight, and Mars were tasked with figuring out where this head came from and what dangers it could pose. The head came with a letter addressed to a Miss Lin Wei, a former environmental terrorist and convicted felon turned reporter. Myself and Mars questioned her while Malarity and Midnight prepared a lab at the college so we could perform tests. While the interrogation of Miss Lin Wei bore no fruit, we did find extensive information on the Amalgamated Biocorp, who seems to be in bed with a local tribe in the Midwest. More info other than that we have now is scarce, but it seems something is up, and we're on our way now to take a deep dive into another near-miss apocalypse. Robert?
All right. Very nice. Thank you. All right. So for the sake of brevity, I just want to bring in Max's character really quickly. I think we can just say that since we were already planning to take a bit of a road trip up to Montana, we can say perhaps before we left, we let the handler know what was going on. And after that update, he called in one more agent because it sounds like you have a fairly hard target you may need to penetrate in the near future. So at some point along the trip from Berkeley to Browning, Montana, we can say we meet up with Agent Mendicant and continue on our way there. So it takes about, I was going to ask, it's about a 19-hour car ride. Are we just all-nighting that?
With periodic stops at Walmart, yeah.
Well, we're probably all traveling separately, just in case we have to all separate.
All right, you want to say we meet in Browning then? Everybody gets their own cars?
Yep, sounds fair.
Okay. All right, so it's going to take most of the day. So we're going to arrive in Browning probably early Tuesday morning, assuming we drive nonstop.
Oh.
I mean, you guys set up get another hotel room, base of operations. Anything specific you want to get into for that?
Well, I'll set up a small makeshift sort of lab in case I need it. And all the stuff to clean up afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure the hotel we use, I want to try to pay in cash.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
stuff.
make sure we put those do not disturb things on our door. We don't need our rooms cleaned.
Yeah, 2 or 3 at least. All right. Right. So once we've arrived, what are you guys planning to look and do first? You know, of course, this is where the company is. Amalgamated Biocarb has their gemstone facility about 20 miles north of Browning itself, which is the tribal capital of the Blackfoot Reservation. It's not a very populous town, but it is the biggest concentration of Native Americans on the reservation. There's about 1,200 here out of the 7,000 that live on the reservation. There's some tourists. Montana is a beautiful place, so they definitely get some people around for things like that. So it's not unheard of for people to be here that don't live here, but probably less so people that look like federal agents and who perhaps are poking around asking questions about things.
So I forget where we left off in our decision. I seem to recall that we were torn between two ideas. One is that we would pretend to be investors coming in to lie our way into the company, or that we were inspectors who were on a surprise inspection.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into that, I really think we should talk to this Thomas Ironshirt. And
Oh, of course.
we should approach Thomas as maybe not terrorist, but we're activist.
Yeah.
Perhaps we were sent from the newspaper woman.
But that could be a quick call. But yeah, we would. Yeah, I say go with that, Fiona.
I don't know if that's the best idea. I mean, look around. None of us look like we work for a newspaper.
I think Agent Mendicant could pass as an eco-terrorist.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Well, we could at least say that she turned us on to the problem.
Yeah, activists can be, they come in all shapes and sizes and looks, and so with a little, a couple t-shirts, some flannel, I think we're good. But no, I think before we try to get in, Thomas has been there. He knows, I'm assuming knows his way around. He knows he got this head, so he must be able to get inside. So maybe he's our angle in.
Yeah, maybe he could dress us all up as janitors, and we could just
there might. I don't know how he got in, so let's do a little research on him and then see if he's around.
Yeah, I ask, how do you plan on tracking him down? Because you have his name, but that's all you have right now.
The PO box.
Yeah, PO box at the post office.
Perhaps there's a phone book. Do they still have such things?
Yeah, I assume so.
We could also just send him a letter, but yeah, if we can't find something, we just drop a letter in there. Say, meet us at
the post office probably knows right where he is.
Exactly.
Because it's a small town.
I agree.
So we could just ask, see if that works. Just go to the post office. Hey, do you know where the Iron Shirt house is?
You can flash your badge, or
no. Maybe not even that. I don't know. Whatever works in the moment.
Yeah, I think we approach it. No badges. Just
because that's the problem. Our badges mean nothing on a reservation. Absolutely nothing.
If anything, they're detrimental.
It just shuts down. Yeah, it'll shut down the conversation right off. So,
these reservations are essentially sovereign states. So
we go in. We were sent. He's just let's go see if we can find someone. Ask.
All right. So we're just gonna be heading to the post office first thing in the morning. I didn't do the math, but I think if we left like midday, you're gonna be arriving in Montana at like 2 a.m. or something. So obviously
we gotta get some sleep.
You can we can just say you guys arrive, get your hotel rooms, and sleep and wake up in the morning, fresh faced and bushy tailed, ready to continue the investigation.
Post office might not be open until, I don't know, 10 o'clock, but
we can wait it out in Denny's.
Check the phone book. Maybe the phone book has the name and address.
So I'll crack it open to see if I can find any last name of Iron Shirt in there.
Make a luck roll.
Iron pants, iron hat, iron underwear, but no iron.
68.
No, that's gonna be a fail.
Well,
Don't seem to be listed in the phone book.
he likes his privacy then.
Yeah, get breakfast and let's hit
Ask-
the post office and ask at the local diner or something if there's one.
Yeah, if it's where we're eating this morning, maybe they know.
Yeah. Worth asking.
What tribe is this? This is the Blackfoot tribe?
Blackfoot, yes.
Okay.
There's a diner called Billy Joe's Home of the Bigfoot, which I am deciding is open.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
So
We can get this mystery round up once and for all, whether there's a Sasquatch involved.
I thought Seattle was the home of the Bigfoot, or Washington.
well, it's clearly in dispute.
Maybe it's a kind of sandwich. Bigfoot.
Well, anywhere where there's wildness and people are afraid of it, I won't tell you that the Sasquatch is a gentle creature, considering it's nobody who's ever actually seen it close up has ever survived to tell anyone.
Has any of you ever had a mission with a Sasquatch? Do they actually exist? Because at this point, that's a legitimate question.
It's
The Yetis.
classified information.
I'll tell you, but I'd have to kill you.
It's a nice deep conversation over, pancakes and coffee.
Pancakes.
Very cerebral.
All right. I mean, do the five of you just walk into the post office? Does anybody else have anything else they wanted to do?
Well, we were going to ask at the local, just, if the waitress comes by or something, just, I mean, do you know a Thomas Iron Shirt around here?
A friend of ours.
Yeah.
Sure. Somebody else can fill that role.
California.
Here, I'll do a luck roll.
Got it, Tom.
You can do it.
Got a 34. My luck is, it's 50-50.
Yeah, just 50-50 in Delta Grains. That's a pass.
So if you we're looking for a friend of ours, Mr. Joseph Iron Shirt. What was it? Thomas Iron Shirt?
Thomas.
Sure.
Just can't even remember what his name was.
The waitress just kind of goes, I'd like to forget him too. But what do you want with that punk?
Oh, yeah, he is. So you've met him. He comes in.
Yeah, most people around here know Tommy.
Do you know where he hangs out? Because we're hoping to chit chat with him.
Says, wherever him and his punk friends are usually around somewhere, but I don't think anybody's seen them in a while.
Well, we haven't seen him in a while either. What's he look like?
You don't know what your friend looks like?
Well, like I say, we haven't seen him in a couple of years. Has he grown up?
Yeah, she describes him to you. Fairly average height. He's a Native American man.
Dark hair, straight hair, probably. Is it cut long?
Yeah, longer hair. Him and his gang are younger folks, guys in their mid-20s.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Little too old to be as poorly behaved as they are.
Glad I didn't say that we were friends with him when he was, 10. So he's in his 20s. Shall we just wander around town and see if we see a gang of 20-year-olds?
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're looking for some, punks on the street. I don't know if it's gonna, I don't know if we'll get that lucky, but yeah, maybe anybody sitting out. I mean, it's
I
worth
mean,
just taking a walk around.
we could find excuses to go to like certain like local businesses. Like one of us take our car to the mechanic and just ask some questions there, see if we can find any leads, stuff like that.
I mean, where do punks hang out? The bar, the
Gas station.
reservoir,
Bowling
gas
alley.
station, yeah, bowling alley.
Okay. You guys just want to say that while we're waiting a few hours for the post office to open, you guys just kind of give the town a once over, poke
Sure.
around and see what you can turn up on Iron Shirt and his gang,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll all take a direction, and kind of drive through town.
fan out, look for
Yeah.
clues.
Yeah. Oh,
All right.
head
What
over
does
to the general
everybody-
store and yeah.
Let's see. What does everybody give me? Everybody's going around talking to people. So how about human intelligence? I'm just looking for.
Yeah.
I passed that.
44.
I got it on the nose, 30 out of 30.
I did not pass that.
I passed.
All right, 4 out of 5. That's pretty good. So yeah, we'll say with a couple of hours to go around and kind of just ask around after him and his gang, you do find out a couple things about him. So Thomas Ironshirt runs around with a pair of other gentlemen by the name of Jacob Left Hand and Charles Lowhorn, and they're not particularly well regarded individuals on the reservation. Yeah, they're punks. They've been punks for years. They've escalated their punkery from just getting in fights to vandalizing things to stealing things. They're apparently they're under suspicion for having burglarized several places along the reservation, businesses and things to just basically sell whatever they can grab that's not nailed down, lawnmowers and grills and TVs and stuff just to make cash.
I'm sorry, we got Jacob Left Hand and
Charles
Lucia.
Lovehorn.
Charles on.
Well,
There's our angle. I mean, they broke in, and they're looking for some cash. I mean,
But yeah, and he's got there's the three of them, and apparently Thomas is a bit of a playboy. He's left a string of single mothers in his wake. But his current girlfriend is someone by the name of Lynn Crystalstone. And like they said earlier in the diner, nobody's seen the three of them since early July. So it's been a couple months now.
oh my God.
oh, wait a minute. When was this set then?
I thought it was like the other
September.
day.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, let's see. Yeah,
This is
he must
September
be-
6th.
he must be hiding out. Maybe
so we started.
they're being hunted by the
Yeah, we started
amalgamated.
6th. Sunday was the 6th, so it's the 8th right now.
Ah,
September
so it's
8th.
the 8th.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm a bit confused about the information that we're coming across because, well, I wouldn't have expected that somebody like Iron Shirt, at least the picture that we're drawing of this
Mhm.
particular fellow, would be the kind of guy to break in, steal a dog's head, and send it to a reporter in Berkeley.
Yeah. And the note that was in the package implied that he had previous contact with Linway. So, like you said, not really meshing up with a couple of no good punks pinching
Yeah.
lawnmowers.
So let's bear that in mind, that something's not quite meshing there. We're missing information. That's usually what that means.
Mhm.
Let's find out where he lives. But if nobody's seen him,
He might just, he might be hiding out. They may have gotten into something deep and didn't know a way out, and now he's hiding for the past few months.
Well, maybe, or he might be hiding 6 feet under the ground.
He
out in the
might
middle
be
of
dead, but I think we roll up. I mean, we treat this. The marshal's coming out, and we treat this as any fugitive. And we hit the girlfriends.
Well,
Ask
yeah, we
around.
just got to see who we can find who lives where.
Mm-hmm.
So, is the post office open yet?
Yeah. Then we'll say after you guys spent a couple of hours going around town trying to track down what you could find on them, that the post office is open now. Is everybody going to reconvene there?
Yeah, we were not all
Yeah.
going to swarm in there.
No, that would be too many. Send one person in to just ask.
Hey, do you know which PO box that came from?
Yeah, we have it on the.
Sitting there.
PO Box 96251.
I mean, again, we could always send him a. Well, let's just check. Let somebody go in. But we could always send him a little message, especially if we can't find him.
All right. Who's going into the post office then? Who's up for this incredibly high pressure situation?
I thought mendicant.
Mailman is a mailman, so
I mean, yes, that's exactly what I do for a living.
True.
Preparing your whole life for this.
I could probably do it. I'm a lawyer by trade.
Yeah, roll in.
Post round. Okay. All right. Let's have Agent Mars do it then. All right. So you head into the local post office branch. Are you looking for the PO box first?
Yeah, I wanna check out the PO box and just to see if I can tell if the mail's been picked up in a while.
So you can't because there is no PO box by that number. There's like 150 of them, so that it doesn't even go up that high. It is a fake number. There is no PO box 95 whatever. There's
Okay.
like 150. They don't
Okay.
need that.
They don't need that many. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'll head up to the desk and see if I could talk to the whomever might be working.
Yeah, there's there. Yeah, just like a older Native American man, probably in his 40s or 50s, man on the counter.
Does he have a name tag?
Yeah, it says Richard.
Okay. Yeah, so I want to just approach him and just hello, sir. How are you today?
Morning, sir. I'm doing all right. How can I help you?
Yes, sir. I'm here because I'm looking for a particular gentleman that lives here in the community that shipped a package out of this post office a few days ago.
All right. What's this about?
It's about the contents of the package, actually. Now, I don't think you probably checked it. It looks like the clerk's initials on the label was a BR. I'm not sure if that person would be here today or not.
That'd be Brian. Yeah, he's in the back.
Okay. Do you think I might be able to speak with Brian?
Sure, I could get him. Is this are you law enforcement? Is something wrong?
Yes, sir. I do work. I'm law enforcement. I'm working with the Postal Service on this case, actually.
All right, let me go get him. He goes back into the back and brings out a younger guy, looks like he's in late 20s, early 30s, and says he says, hey, they said there was something wrong. What's going on?
Yeah, I've got if I've got the label with me, I suppose.
Copy of it
Yeah,
or something, maybe.
yeah, a copy of it, and I just want to show it to Brian and just say, yeah, I just want to kind of get your see if you can remember filling out this address form, and maybe if you remember the guy that postmarked this.
Says, yeah, that was just a couple days ago. He says, I mean, yeah, I think so. It's what about him?
Well, when he when he came in, do you remember if was he acting strange? Was he agitated? Did he seem nervous? Like, what was his behavior, if it was anything unusual?
He's just kind of like he's like I couldn't really say, to be honest with you. He dropped a package off real quick.
Okay,
I didn't notice
okay,
anything super strange about it.
okay. And the package that you got, I suppose there wasn't anything odd about the exterior of the package that you remember.
No, it was just a he does a little the yay big thing about the
Yeah.
distract box that you know. He says no, it's just a average size box.
Okay. Let me ask you about this return or the address that he put on here. Um, you don't have a PO box number by that. Do you think that might be a different kind of number, like a street address or something of that nature?
He looks at it and says, no, it's a I mean, he wrote down PO box, but yeah, I mean that's not the correct number. I I I didn't notice, to be honest. It doesn't really,
Yeah,
Frank, it doesn't really matter what they write down in the return address to me, but just trying to go about my job.
yeah. You're not a suspect in all this. None of you are. We're really just trying to identify this person and track them down and figure out what's going on. That's really all.
Why don't you make a luck roll for me, Agent Mars?
76.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there was more I could tell you about it. It's pretty routine. That's why I don't really nothing
Yeah.
really stands out to me.
Yeah. That's okay. Do you know, does this Thomas Iron Shirt, does he have a post office box here?
I ain't sure. No, that wasn't Tommy. No,
Oh, wait, it wasn't Tommy that came in?
no, definitely not.
Oh, do you know who it was then?
Mm, no, I don't think I've seen him before. Definitely not a local.
Oh, okay. So maybe not a part of the Indian reservation then.
No, he was a white man.
Oh, okay. Interesting. What does this guy look like? Can you kind of describe him for me?
He says, well, we have cameras. We can check them.
Great. That'd be fantastic.
He's like, boss, can we go? He's like, yeah, sure. They'll take him back.
Okay.
So it takes a little bit of time because well, actually, does it have the time on there? I don't think it has is there a reception time? Or is it just the date? AM. Well, we'll just have to start in the morning then. So it takes a little bit of time, maybe 20, 30 minutes, just zooming through the footage until he's like, yeah, there's the guy. And you can see somebody walking in, and yeah, it's definitely a Caucasian man. A little shorter, a little pudgy. He's got glasses on. Definitely not the description you've gotten of Thomas Ironshirt so far. It was kind of a young playboy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay, great.
Yeah, just the appearance does not ring any bells to you. It's not somebody you know, but yeah,
Yeah,
definitely not Thomas Ironshirt.
yeah.
You
And
do recognize the package though.
okay. And I take it they don't have any external cameras, do
Not at the
they?
post office, no.
Not at the post office. Okay. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Well, you guys have been super helpful. I really want to thank you for your time and working with me here on this. Still a little perplexed, I gotta say, but this is definitely very helpful.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's nothing else I can really tell you about it.
It's all right. I've learned more than I knew when I came in the door, so that's always a good thing. Um, yeah, and I'll take my leave and head outside to the other group and give a description about what the conversation I had, and
Yeah,
say,
that's highly suspicious.
yeah, I
Weird.
so obviously this Thomas, something's obviously happened to Thomas.
He's just
But
their patsy or scapegoat, or you know,
Like he might not have ever been involved at
may
all.
not. They just picked him. As, this is an odd thing, but I think, and according to everyone's description of Tommy, that letter is not. I mean, it uses awful big words, and it just doesn't sound like a little, a punk kid on the streets. But I'm going to take a shot in the dark and call the phone number that's on the receipt on the, and just see if put the tracking number in.
One
And
thought was
Their
one
phone
thought I
number?
was thinking is Thomas could have, you know, he has a history of breaking into places. Let's say he breaks into his place. From what we've read and what we saw on the map we have, this is not a place that plays around. So let's say he gets captured, he gets killed or experimented on, and a disgruntled scientist uses the information he just happens to find in this kid's pocket to address a message or a box. So what if he's already dead and who we're looking for is actually someone who's already in the facility?
It seems. I mean, I suppose that's in the realm of possibilities, but it seems more to me like somebody sent a package to Berkeley, knowing that Delta Green would probably pick up on it, and they've lured us all here for some reason. Because
I'm with you. I think it's, and I
Tommy
think
doesn't seem to have any connection whatsoever.
it's
He
a
wasn't
trap.
even the person that came in.
I think I'm more with Mailman on this one. I feel like if it was a trap, it would have been executed better, if that makes sense. Like, assuming it's a trap, A assumes that the friendly that we got this package from is compromised because they knew that they were going to pass it on to Delta Green. Because if they didn't, and then the lady got it and leaked it to the public or whatever, that would just be a huge disaster, and ABC would be fucked or investigated, right? So I feel like it was too high risk of a maneuver for it to be a trap, in my opinion.
Unless whoever is doing this knows more about Delta Green than
Exactly. Unless they knew that the friendly was a Delta Green friendly.
Because why send it all the way across the country to Berkeley?
ex-staff at Berkeley, ex-faculty.
Well, because they knew that somebody worked there who was a friendly.
Yeah.
But why trap us in the first place? Okay, so you know Delta
Oh,
Green exists, and you're doing illegal experiments that you know Delta Green would be interested in. The last thing you want to do is go through the trouble of mailing a live dog head just to lure them here when you could have not done that at all, and you more than likely would not be touched by them.
but that just makes me think that maybe the dog's head and all of this is just the bullshit end of it, and we have no idea what the ruse. They
Right.
might want us. This might be all some sort of, like the way magicians do it. They distract you with things that are meaningless. I mean, why give us the kids? When I got kind of creeped out when she kept talking like Iron Shirt was a kid, and then why would he be working at that place? Doesn't sound like he works at all. I don't know. Once again, we don't have all the information, but something's really fishy here.
It could be could be used to maybe bring down amalgamated biocarb.
Yeah.
Maybe they were going to send it, thought they were going to send it. It was going to get through, not intercepted by Delta Green. Assume that. And then this would get out and it would bring ruin to this company.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at Delta, like,
So,
imagine yourself being the leader of a multinational chemical conglomerate.
Mm-hmm.
Delta Green, at best, is a avoidable headache.
Well, that's one way to
It's
put it.
because if you kill, like, let's say we all die, they're just going to activate another cell. And that's going to keep happening until they figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? Like, this is not something
That's
that
a very
goes
good
away
point.
with our death.
That's a very good point.
I'll say too, one thing about the reason that the package was detected is because it had started to leak that fluid. You know that it was originally packed up. They had the thing in the garbage bag with ice packs and stuff on it. It was not leaking a trail of blue fluid into the post office in Browning. Presumably at some point it got ruptured. The dog head was still mostly intact at that point. It could have shifted and bitten a hole in the bag or something. So if that hadn't happened, no, it's entirely possible it would have made it all the way to Fiona. That seems like it happened by chance to you.
so yeah, I mean, that it brings up the point where they're maybe trying to bring this down, this amalgamated, and maybe they don't care anything about the environment, anything about what's being done. They just want to bring down this
Well,
corporation.
I think that was our original premise, was that we were to believe that they were up to some bizarre experimentation.
Yeah.
But then why the whole ruse with the Indian kid? And they knew that we'd come here and ask around.
Maybe
So-
ABC has shooters.
Or it could be that the guy that came in to the post office really doesn't want to be identified and is using a name of a known troublemaker as a way to kind of deflect.
Why not just make up some random name that nobody knows in the first place?
Why don't we see if this Thomas Ironshirt's alive?
Yeah.
Why don't see, we'll go ask the girlfriend. Let's just see if he's alive, if he's been around, or he's in hiding because he knows something that he was being used, or he's part of something. But yeah, let's hit our angle right now, because we have no clue going into that amalgamated biocar what we're gonna ask, what we're gonna get. I mean, we could walk in there, they're not gonna. Oh, here's a headless dog that we reanimated. They're not gonna show us that. So, no matter how much you pretend you're rich and investing in the company.
Show us your
I mean-
necromancy department.
Yeah.
It could even be majestic. Like if it is, then that they would
Ah.
not They don't need investors.
If it was the Majestic 12, we would be the last person that they'd ever want to even know that they still exist.
Yeah,
Because
unless it's a
I
trap.
thought that they were all disbanded or gotten rid
Yeah,
of with
it should
that
be
war.
gone. But if anyone's gonna reanimate a head,
Let's find this
it
iron
just seems like
chest.
a very odd way of doing this, though. I mean, why pick an Indian reservation out in the middle of nowhere, pose as a local that clearly should have been picked up by the person at the post office. You're not Thomas Iron Shirt. I mean, I don't even know how that got through.
I got the impression that it's not that important.
But he signed and everything. I mean,
No, you're right, but this isn't LA. You know, these guys aren't.
a
These
small,
guys
yeah,
aren't. Yeah.
yeah. This is
So
a small
I
town.
can yeah I can give that up to just ignorance.
Well, considering then mailman and medicant. So let's say you've got a scientist like myself working for Amalgamated, but more or less being kept a prisoner by Amalgamated, doing illegal experimentations, but you're not really a bad guy, so you try to get evidence out of the building and send it, hopefully to get us involved. But it's more or less the same thing that you said. They're not setting a trap, but they're trying to get our attention because they're scared to death that Amalgamated will find them. And a disgruntled scientist, we're all a little disgruntled most of the time anyway.
And it's not necessarily Delta Green. They're just trying to get anyone's attention.
Right.
Or they just have to draw Delta Green.
To get the company shut down or investigated.
Or investigated. Yeah, something happening here.
I wonder, because there's a river that goes through
The Milk
their
River.
facility. Yeah, I wonder if we could find anything that was washed up. Like
We can check the
residue.
newspapers and see if weird stuff has happened.
We could take samples of the water.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what we normally do anyway, isn't it?
So
And I kind of want to get some surveillance on this place.
Yeah. Be
Yeah.
very careful.
it's almost we may want to just split up and a couple hit the search for Thomas, and a few just kind of check out the plant and take your samples and see what the comings and goings are. Where do these people work? I mean, how many cars are in the parking lot? Where do they go? What's the nicest cars? Where do those people go to? Let's just work the case.
Drive around town, see what we can find. Pretend to be tourists. I'm dressed for it.
Exactly.
I got my gear for surveillance. Handler, can we match up the map you gave us with a map of this city so I can figure out the best way that I can surveil this place and not get shot in the face?
Yeah, it would definitely be easy for you if you're just talking about like long range surveillance. Yeah, it's
Right.
it's off it's off its own like private road in the middle of nowhere, basically in the woods. So it would be trivial to just get some kind of high ground over it and just like look at it with binoculars if that's what you're thinking of.
And this Milk River, is it a nice river? I mean, would it be common to see canoes, something like that? People kayaking up and down it? I mean, as tourists?
Probably not like tourists for that, no.
Not on an Indian reservation, but
I don't know, or fishermen,
Yeah,
might
I'm
do
sure
a
some
hike.
people fish, sure. It's a fairly major river, but like it's not like a prime tourist destination or anything. But I mean, yeah, people go out in the woods, people go canoeing, people fish. Certainly not unheard of.
Well, I think I'm going to follow up and just hit the girlfriend, see if she's seen him for a few months, and anybody want to come with me, they're welcome to. And I think we've got surveillance on the plants.
I'm going to head to the local library and see if there's any newspaper articles of any weird recent stuff. I can read pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's not much news.
I'll go with you, Midnight. I'll go with you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to get a sample of the water?
Oh, yeah, I could do that if everybody else is doing something else.
Yeah, I can cover you if you need.
Yeah. I've got all the equipment you need to get a good sample.
I also wanted to hit up the Walmart.
Sure. What are you trying to get?
IED materials.
Oh, okay.
Oh God, Jesus.
Aisle
Bleach
9.
and ammonia and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
You say that, and I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna have to deal with you when I'm not activated. I'm
He's a
catching that
professional.
vibe.
He knows how to handle it.
It's the enemies to lovers trope, mailman. Brought together by circumstance.
It's also worth maybe grabbing some touristy type of things. Get some cameras. You know, it's 1997. Oh, couple cameras.
1998,
Some,
yeah.
you know, some maps. Let's blend. All right.
Mhm.
Yep. Well, good luck, everyone.
We'll meet back at the hotel at a certain time.
All right. So Mars and Midnight are looking for the girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need some kind of role for that because it's one thing to just ask about like, hey, have you heard of this guy? And another thing to be like, where does this lady live?
We can we run her name?
Yeah, what kind of
Legitimately.
databases do you have access to?
Federal Marshal. I can check her driver's license, things like that.
No? Okay, then yeah, you could do that. That would be easy then. Yeah, if you're just gonna look her up and that, yeah, if you can get her driver's license information, yeah, she does have a driver's license, um, motorcycle equipped. And yeah, it has her home address on it. It looks like she is, you can pretty easily track down. She's in a trailer park just outside of Browning.
Yeah, and Mars has always already come off as, a kind of a agent already looking for working with the post office. So
Mhm.
just keep that angle. Somebody, and I think that's legitimate. Someone's, faking his identity. We have some of that, evidence, and we'll just ask straight up.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean that's our plan. That's just go to the trailer and just ask her.
Okay, sounds good. You guys can head out for that. Mailman, what kind of specific plans did you have for reconnaissance? Were you just trying to get a good overwatch of the place?
I want to watch their patterns. Like any facility like this definitely is going to have to run on some type of schedule so it doesn't fall into chaos.
Mhm.
So, I just want to see how many people are coming in. I noticed that there's on-site residents, so I want to know how many people are actually coming and leaving and how many people are staying. How many cars do I see? I see a dog run, so I want to see how many dogs are on post at any given time. How many guards I see patrolling, how many guards I see who are in fixed position. Uh, yeah, I just want everything. That I see a helipad, so I want to know how many times a helicopter's coming in and out, how many times that train is coming in. I just want to be. I want to know how they run this place.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can see. All right, so let's go over that first. If it's mid-morning now, yeah, I mean if you're camping out most of the day, yeah, it looks like it's a pretty normal work schedule. If you're going to be arriving there I mean, the post office opened at 10, so probably sometime in the afternoon. Yeah, you can take up an overwatch in the woods on a hill somewhere and just kind of look through your binoculars, observing the facility. There's not an overly large amount of foot traffic on the grounds itself. There is like a small security booth at the front that's manned, of course, and sometimes people are coming, out to their cars and from break, things like that. There is a good amount of people here. There are you see probably 30 or 40 cars in the parking lot, and it looks like the structure you've seen on the map. There's what looks like it's kind of like a clover leaf shape, and there's in the middle looks like an administration building where you can see like people walking around in like just business attire and coming in and out of it, and these four big cylindrical kind of bunker-like buildings around it. So those seem to have like sealed doors on them. That's presumably where work is being done. Yeah, nobody's really like flying in and out on helicopters or anything like that. There's the helipad there. You can see. You don't see any dogs out during the day. So you can assume that maybe they only patrol at night with the dogs themselves, but you can see it says on the map that there's a kennel, so you know where they are kept. You see there are guards that still patrol the grounds, watching over it. You spot at least 8 of them outside that patrol throughout the day. Presumably there are some indoors as well.
8 guards or 8 separate patrols?
8 guards. And
Okay.
it would definitely be a pretty hard target to sneak into. It's got the entire grounds is surrounded by 2 fences. The outer fence looks like it's probably about 14 feet tall, and it's topped with razor wire. And then there's the dog run, and then there's another fence, looks a little bit shorter, probably like 12 feet tall, that is also topped with razor wire. So it would be pretty difficult to break in. You can definitely spot cameras and things on the outside of the building as well.
And the cars in the parking lot, how many of them have out-of-state plates?
Not many of them.
Okay. All right. And any train traffic?
Not on this day, no. You can see the tracks that go through the facility, but no, yeah, it probably would be outside the fence. They're not gonna cut right through that. There's like a loading area. But yeah, no trains arrived today.
And how active is the waste incinerator?
Fairly active. It's used several, if you're there for 4 or 5 hours, yeah, it's used several times.
All right. Do I see any pipes going into the Milk River?
No, nothing that overt.
All right. I would love to see how they handle a problem. Is there? Huh.
I'll mention you also know you're very close to the Canadian border at this point. The facility is like 10 miles south of the Canadian border. So it's like right on the end here of Montana.
Oh, really?
Montana. Yeah.
Okay. So I would like to cause a disturbance because I want to see how they react, how fast, and who shows up if something happens. But I'm going to do that from afar because I'd rather not be arrested.
Yeah, understandable.
Uh, how far away am I from the gate?
As far as you want to be, really. If you want to get closer to it, you can. Tell me, what are you thinking?
Either one. I like comically, I would love to send an animal in there to cause trouble to see what happens. But I'm thinking
Send
since
an
I'm
animal.
not the yeah, since I'm not like the animal whisperer, I would like to do like No, it's too risky. Never mind. I'm not going to do it because if it goes bad, it's going to go bad. So I'm going to leave.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was really excited to see where that was going to go. I've
I
never
can do
seen.
it.
Yeah.
What I was going to do is just shoot a camera with my rifle and to see how they reacted, how
Okay.
fast. Unless there's a role I can make to tie something to a squirrel, I'm more than happy to do that. If you give me the chance, I will do it. But it's handler's choice on that one.
What do you mean by something? You gonna like tie firecrackers to a squirrel or something, or like a smoke grenade?
Yeah, I'm not actually a member of PETA, so yes, I would tie firecrackers to a squirrel or something and somehow get it into the gate, set the firecrackers off, and just see how they react. I don't want to hurt anyone, and when they finally find this thing, it should just be a squirrel with burnt firecrackers on it. It could even be a groundhog, something that could survive it, something.
Could you launch some bottle rockets over to it and just not be there?
I could figure something out.
Yeah.
You know what? I keep forgetting that I have an explosive expert as part of the team. I'm going to call him in the camp.
Maybe we'll circle back to this.
Okay.
So Agent Malarity, you said you wanted to head down to the local library,
The
check out
local
papers and
library, yeah.
things. All right.
See if they've got old newspapers.
Yeah, you can. There's not too much you can find out there. I will tell you a little bit more just about the general feeling of the town. You don't see anything particularly suspicious in the newspaper. There's no weird stories about animals turning inside out or people showing up downriver, torn limb from limb or anything like that that would, pique your Delta Green interests. You do find out, you just brushing through the papers, that the town seems to have a pretty good relationship with ABC.
Okay.
They're the biggest employer on the reservation, so they employ hundreds of locals.
So I don't see any disgruntled working conditions or
Yeah,
anything
no, just
like
the opposite,
that.
really. They bring a lot of money into the town.
And what is Amalgamated? What is their main production? I mean, is it chemicals or
Pharmaceuticals, yeah.
pharmaceuticals?
Yeah, pharmaceuticals and chemicals. Yeah, you got some of that information in Berkeley when you were researching them. You know that they're looking to bring their own medicine to market. You read about that. They were looking to like work on medicine to rouse coma patients and things like that, but they don't currently have anything patented, so they're kind of just supplementing their income, taking in independent jobs from contractors that need whatever chemicals or pharmaceuticals produced at a industrial level.
I think I'm thinking, I hope this isn't too foolish. I might make a phone call.
Sure.
I'll call their reception desk at Amalgamated.
Okay.
Good morning. My name is let's make up an alias. My name is Dr. J. Coleman, and I'm a scientist. I happen to be traveling across country, and I recently heard about your company, the pharmaceuticals that you're making, and I thought that was really quite interesting. I don't make pharmaceuticals myself, but now I'm going to go on and on and on and on and be kind of boring, but I'll be like, I was just happening to pass through your town, and I was just kind of curious if you would allow me to come and have a tour of your facility, if you do anything like that. I've never actually seen how pharmaceuticals are developed, and I'm just, scientific curiosity.
Yeah, the the poor lady who picked up the phone is probably bored to tears at this point already. She says, I'm sorry, sir, we don't really do public tours or anything like that. It's a fairly controlled facility.
Oh, you don't. Well, I guess that's too bad. All right. Well, thank you very much.
No problem, sir. Have a good day. Mhm.
And then I'll head on back to our uh our apartments, our hotel rooms.
Play catch with Frank.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's see.
You know, you say play catch with Frank. I am going to do continue to do a forensic diagnosis of if there's anything else I can learn from that poor mutt.
I mean, not too much really. If you like forensically, yeah, you could examine the like wounds and stuff on it. That's not really going to tell you much that you don't
It
already
doesn't
know, though.
Okay.
That's about all that's
And
pretty
is there
much all I haven't done.
shown any deterioration since we started?
No, no,
He's
it
still
is
just
not.
as
Mhm.
frank.
It is not decayed at all. And I don't know. Have you guys kept it? Did you guys get like new ice packs and stuff? Are you keeping it on ice?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, keep it in
Yeah,
the
you said
fridge.
that you're gonna get like a cooler to replace the leaky box.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, but yeah, no, he seems perfectly content in his cooler. There's no signs of decay, and there's no the activity level hasn't ceased either. Like we said, he can't really move much at this point.
What
Just
a
many
what a
ambulatory wards.
horrible nightmare to be kept alive. I mean, he could be in horrible agonizing pain,
Yeah,
and it's just not going to stop. Ah, wonder if there's a way to stop it. I don't know. I could burn it.
yeah, you know they burn.
Well, I'll confer with the others before I do anything that rash, but I think we might all agree tonight that it's time to put poor Frank out of his misery.
Might be past time. All right. Agent Mendicant, was there anything specific you wanted to get into? You just we're going to Walmart, coming back with some bags of fertilizer and such?
Yeah, and I might have brought some like D11 rocket motors with me,
Okay.
just in case we have to, make a missile.
Just in case. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. No problem then. All right.
With
Let's
a
swing back to
squirrel.
Mars tonight.
Yeah, the first rodent astronaut
You're gonna have to update the disclosure for this one, Tom. Sorry.
may contain harmed animals. If you hadn't guessed from the severed dog head.
No, but we're being very sweet to Frank.
Did not expect that.
You can always inject that fluid into your squirrel and then shoot that in.
Okay.
It'll survive, right?
I mean, yeah.
Imagine the Monty Python rabbit.
Yeah.
Squirrel just starts ripping people's jugulars out.
Zombie squirrel on the loose.
That is the opposite of your job. All right. But yeah, Mars midnight, you guys head down to the address that you looked up in the U.S. Marshal database. Yeah, there's a small trailer park just on the outskirts of Browning, and you find the trailer with Lynn's number on it.
And if I'm looking up, I might as well look up Tommy's too. See what his address.
Sure. Yeah. You can pretty easily do that. He's yeah, sure. You find his address as well. He lives elsewhere, but yeah, it looks like another small place on the outskirts of town.
Okay.
But yeah, you can head there next.
Well, Mars, you've started this. You wanna?
Yeah, I might as well keep it going.
Yep. Because we've got you got the label, right? The
yeah.
PM. Yeah, so that's We can confirm whether or not it's his signature, which we know it's not, and all
Yeah.
that. So, all right.
Okay.
Shut up. It's all you.
All right. So I will. So looking at the trailer itself, does it look like somebody's at home before I approach?
It's still probably mid-afternoon. So you don't see like any lights on or anything like that. But I mean, yeah, windows are open. I was gonna say you do notice that since you looked at her license already, it's a license for a motorcycle. You do see a motorcycle parked outside. So
Okay.
presumably that is hers and she's home.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and head up to the door
Mhm.
and
I'm going to circle around back too. They should have a little back door on these trailers just to make sure no one runs out the back. So,
Sure. You just giving it a polite little knock.
yeah, 3 shaves and a haircut.
Yeah, you're waiting. There's no response.
Okay, I'll kind of see if I can peek through a window if there's one eye level.
Yeah, you can go ahead and make an alertness check for me.
That's 62. I missed it.
Yeah, you're peeking in there. You're not really seeing anything though.
Okay.
There's no lights on inside, so it's a little darker inside the trailer.
Okay.
if I go up the back to the back door and look around as well, peek into.
Sure, midnight, you can go ahead and roll awareness as well.
34. That's a pass.
Okay. Yeah, through one of the back windows, you can see through a partially drawn blind that looks like it looks onto her bedroom, and you can see somebody in bed. It looks like she might just be asleep.
No, well then pound a little harder on the
Okay.
back door.
Pretty much what I was looking for, yeah. Yeah, if you guys just start pounding on the door, yeah, eventually she will come and awaken. Yeah, she throws on a robe or something. She looks quite disgruntled.
Well, I'll let her go to Mars then.
Yeah, I can deal with this.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, she throws on a bathrobe or something and comes to the door. It's like she says, what do you want?"
Oh, good morning, ma'am. How are you this morning?
I'm sleeping. I work nights. What do you want?
I do apologize. I am hoping to speak with Thomas if he might be here.
No, he's not.
Have you seen Thomas in the last few days?
She's kind of like sighs and like rubs some of the sleep out of her eyes. She says, No, I haven't seen Tommy in months."
Okay. Oh, okay. I'm sorry to wake you up. I'm working with the post office actually, and it seems like that we're working an identity fraud type case. It seems that perhaps Thomas's identity may have been stolen.
What do you mean? Why would somebody do that?
I'm not sure. It seems like it's he. There was some packages that's been sent out using his name and signature. Uh, and so I can show her the label, and I'm gonna say, does this look like his signature?
She looks at it really quick and says, No, that's definitely not his."
Okay. Um, okay. Do you know if has Tommy been in any trouble in the last month that you're aware of?
Says, I mean, he's always in some kind of trouble. You can go ahead and roll a human intelligence for me.
88. That is a critical failure.
All right, yeah, no, she looks very sleepy.
Yeah.
It looks like
Okay.
she's mostly just irritated at you for waking her up.
Yeah. I'm going to just keep talking to her. So, do you know, did Thomas have any kind of uh, inclination for environmentalism that you're aware of?
What? No,
Yeah, I mean, to see like a tree hugger or, anything like that.
no. What is this? What does it have to do with his identity? I don't.
It's part of the whole thing. They stole his identity and uh, bought a bunch of subscriptions to an eco magazine.
And you drove out here for because of magazine subscriptions?
It was a lot of subscriptions.
Yeah, I guess.
It's no question the U.S. Post Office.
Yeah, I mean, I work for the post office, so it's kind of
We put our very best on this case.
yeah. Well, I don't have a whole lot to do, so.
I'm just peeking in the window to make sure. I'm assuming Tommy's not there. I'm assuming Tommy's dead or gone. But just to make sure he's not hiding out on in this trailer.
Yeah, no, you don't see anybody like crawling out the back window or anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, do you know if was Tommy employed anywhere?
She says, no, no, none of them had any regular work.
Okay. All righty. Well, I apologize for bothering you. I'm gonna let you get back to sleep. Um, um, oh, where do you work at? She works late.
She says, I do, well, the word is escaping me. Not maintenance, custodial work. Like I'm a custodian up at ABC. I clean out the offices and
Oh,
stuff at night.
oh, very cool, very cool. It's an interesting place. I've never don't know anything about it. What do they do up there?
I don't know, they make chemicals and stuff, medicine and things, and like bug spray and shit like that.
Okay, pretty mundane job being a custodian.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find it to be kind of like interesting, actually. Because like nobody would obviously pay attention to you. You just wander around. You probably see all kinds of stuff, I'm sure.
She definitely seems a little uncomfortable.
That
You're
goes
not sure,
without that
you're
goes
not
without
sure,
ask.
you're not really sure if that means anything or if she just thinks you're a weirdo. You critically failed that human role.
No,
But
you can't be a weirdo. Come on.
Weird. Yeah. To be fair, I'm kind of playing it up a little bit. Um, anyway, I'm real sorry to bother you. I'm real sorry to bother you. But yeah, you can. I'll let you go. You have a good rest of your sleep.
okay. Bye.
Have a good night, day. Good night, day. Yeah.
Well, I mean, tells us that somebody's been there.
Yeah, she's a custodian there.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
But if I mean, why hasn't anyone reported Thomas gone? I mean,
I
it's been
know.
months. I mean, come on. We got to get to his house. I mean, what is going on? I mean, it seems awful odd that he's gone for 2 months and no one seems to think that's strange or
Yeah,
concerned.
I don't know. That's weird. That's weird.
And she didn't seem that put out by you, or you showing up talking about him. other than being sleepy. So yeah, let's run over to his house and pull the same thing. Just
Yeah.
suspicious, package, or whatever.
Right. All right. Yeah, you guys go to the address you pulled for Thomas Ironshirt, and yeah, it is just a shack.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is there anyone around? Is there
Uh,
other shacks around? Or is this by itself?
it's fairly off on its lonesome, but yeah, the place is just a wreck. There's clearly no effort being put into upkeeping it. There's, rusting garbage in the lawn and things like that. An old beater car out in front.
Well, gloves on and let's do our search. Because I don't think he's here, but
Yeah, it's a pretty small place. You can, or is it just the two of you again, Mars and Midnight? You doing the same thing? One
Yeah.
front,
Yeah.
one back. All right. All right. Mars, are you going to are you knocking on the door again?
Yeah. This time I'm gonna do a little bit more of a heavy-handed punch to the door. So I want to punch the door and then listen to see if I hear anything.
Yeah, it's just kind of like there's just kind of a screen door. There's a door behind it that's open. You can hear the sound of a television playing from inside the place. And yeah, you bang on it and you just hear a voice just shout from inside, "Go the fuck away."
Um,
male voice.
Hmm?
Oh, go ahead.
was it a male voice?
Yeah, oh, yeah, sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a man.
Yeah. Are you Tommy?
Says, "No, that punk's not here."
Oh, do you know where he is?
It's just there's no response, and you hear the volume on the TV get louder.
Okay.
Is there a back door or is there just windows?
Yeah, there's a back door on it as well.
I'm gonna
I'm
try
a-
the door.
I'm actually gonna open the screen door and lean in.
Yeah, there's a you can both step inside. Mars, you can see from here. You can just step like into the living room. There's a overweight middle-aged man, Native American, and just like a wife beater and shorts, sitting on the couch in front of the TV, surrounded by a pile of beer cans. It's 2 p.m. He's getting quite into it. He says, he kind of struggles up to his feet. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing in my house? Get the fuck out of here." He's he's clearly already drunk at this point.
Yeah. I just stone face, don't move. Still looking for Tommy. Haven't found him.
I don't give a shit.
Did I get in the side door, the back door?
Yeah, the back is open.
I'm gonna check. Yeah, the room's back there. Why Agent Mars is keeping this guy distracted.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it odd. Tommy's missing months. Nobody seems to care. Seems odd to me.
Why would anyone care? He's a little shit. He fucked off. Him and his stupid friends. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Why'd they do that?
Because they're fucking losers. What do I fucking care?
Yeah. I don't know. It just seems like you might care a little bit. I mean, if something real actually happened to him.
Something's gonna happen to you if you don't get the fuck out of my house.
Hey man, I'm just standing here, just asking questions. You're the one that's getting upset.
Yeah, I'm getting upset. He's clearly very agitated at you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have no doubt.
Yeah.
Mars is keeping him occupied while I go through this. Right in Tommy's room.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's literally like there's like this living room in the front and like a small kitchen. There's two small rooms and a bathroom in the back. So yeah, there's definitely, it looks like there was one that was probably a boys at some point. It looks like a teenager's room with like like band posters and things on the wall like that. It's pretty dusty. It doesn't seem like anybody's been here for a while.
I'm gonna go through, looking for drugs, looking for anything, anything that would.
Sure, make an awareness check for me.
I don't think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna push it some more. Oh, I missed it by 5.
You don't really find anything exciting. You find a photograph of what looks like, you presume, Tommy and this man and a woman, probably in happier times.
Lift up the mattress, look under. Um, yeah, if there's a desk, grab some.
Some old Playboys, things like that. Things you'd expect to find in a teenager's room. Nothing particularly incriminating, though. Yeah, but yeah. For the picture that you're seeing looks like it was probably when he was a younger teen. So based on the state of this place and the state of this gentleman, you don't think there's probably not been much of a relationship here for some time.
Well, if I don't find anything, as I walk out, I'll signal Mars, try to.
Okay. Yeah, and the last thing I'll say to this guy is, so if I were to fuck off, I would very much like to fuck off in the direction that I could find Tommy. Where would I go to find Tommy?
You could go to hell.
That's probably going to happen anyway. So I thank you for your time and your unhelpfulness. I do apologize for interrupting your day. So please go back to watching your daytime soap operas. It's been a pleasure.
And you just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say he doesn't seem to want to actually pursue you. Maybe if you like walked close enough for him to take a swing at you, he would. But like he's not. Yeah, he just sits back down in the chair, looking pissed off, and cracks open another beer.
Yeah, he'll forget all about you soon.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
whoever planned this really picked a person that nobody gives a shit about. That if he disappears for the rest, forever, no one cares.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the understanding about why nobody's reported this guy missing.
Exactly. This was planned. Somebody knows this kid.
And I bet that if we find his loser friends, it'll be the same story.
I suspect so too. Unless they're missing. But I mean, come on. Months. His father doesn't give it. I mean, come on.
I find it hard to believe, but there it is. You heard it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to do some research you have to know this community to pick out a kid like this that no one would care if they disappeared. And then pin this zombie-headed dog, this zombie dog on. I mean, what? Why?
I don't get it. See, that's the part that I don't understand is the connection between Tommy, this dog's head, and this place.
Well, yeah,
I'm not quite figuring that part out, but
let's go see if the others have figured it out, but I'm still lost.
All right. All right. So
Come
everybody
back
reconvenes.
Yeah.
You come back and tell us everything that you.
Everything, go through, the whole thing.
Now, did I understand you correct and say that the girl worked at the facility?
Yes.
she's maintenance.
She's maintenance.
Well, she does custodial.
Custodian. Yeah.
Okay. And her boyfriend and his gang are punks.
Yeah, we
And
haven't tracked the friends, but it seemed like a dead end with Tommy and if his girlfriend
Well,
didn't care, his dad didn't care. I doubt if his friends, unless again, they may be missing. I don't know.
so the only real connection we have is we're pretty sure that facility, ABC, is involved and probably developing some sort of chemical here on Frank. By the way, I think that we should put Frank out of his misery tonight.
Yeah, I think we
Have
should
a
have
little
heard that abomination. But yes,
have a little. Hey, he's got feelings too. Don't call him that. We'll say a few words and we'll put him out of his misery. But no, what I'm thinking is, what do punks do with their time? And mostly they do drugs. So if those punks thought they could skim some drugs off of ABC, maybe the girlfriend taped over the door latch and let those boys in, and they got out with the dog head. That still doesn't quite make sense, but
They weren't getting out of that facility with the dog head. I watched it for hours. There's no way a bunch of punk kids were going to get in and out of there with.
and they're not the ones who sent. You're right, man. I mean, they're not the ones who sent. Tommy is not the one who sent the head to Lewin or something.
well, yeah. Well,
Wait.
then maybe they are still inside.
I would like to clarify one thing. I didn't mean to make it seem like his girlfriend didn't care. She was more like just kind of confused and off balance about it.
Well,
She wasn't like indifferent about it. She was just very confused as to why you were questioning her about him. And yeah, she definitely seemed a little uncomfortable with your line of questioning. So you didn't really, other than that she works there, it didn't teach you much. But yeah, I wouldn't say that she was indifferent about him disappearing.
Other than going to the police, the tribal police. I mean,
I think the psychology of punkness is one where, like you're talking about his father, that there was this time when little Iron Shirt was a kid and dad might have loved him, and then he becomes a rebellious teenager, and then he starts getting into really nasty stuff. And most of your little punks are real closed mouthed about what they're doing. It's none of your fucking business what I'm doing. And so they never tell anyone what they're up to. And as a result, people just stop caring about what their kid is up to. It seems like he was a fucking asshole punk. And they probably figured he was going to end up dead or in jail or something anyway. And it seems kind of natural to me that nobody gives a shit where he was. He's gotten to that point. But that could mean that he's still out there somewhere.
Yeah, like what if, he doesn't have to have gotten out, but he definitely probably got in. And the way he got in was probably from his girlfriend. So if he can get in that way, that means that we could get in that way.
That door might still be fixed if we could find that door.
Or if it's a swipe, she has the key card or something like that.
Yeah, I think. Well, isn't that tracked? Wouldn't they know who let him in that case?
With a key card, yeah.
With a key card.
Yes, good name.
But old Frank here was a good boy. This is animal testing. The next step would be human trials. And if you get a bunch of punks who've broken in, you can start. Now, I still don't get the connection of who sent the dog.
It's not the punks who sent the head. I almost think that they're scapegoats. I think, or they're being used by whoever did send the head.
Maybe once again, one of the scientists.
I mean, it
Yeah.
does. The note did mention that, like, he's. What did it say exactly? My position here is precarious. I must move cautiously. I will contact you soon.
Right.
His position there is precarious.
Yeah.
So it's not Iron Shirt.
It's an insider.
It's somebody who works there, a scientist. And he might know about Ironheart because they got him locked up in there. And they're giving
Okay.
him shots of blue juice.
Let's say he's a scientist. Unless they're living on site, assumedly he's commuting in. We could watch the parking lot, see when he comes out and exits. We know what he looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can keep an eye on all the scientists coming in and out. Maybe approach some of them secretly.
That's a good angle. I like it. I think we've got it. We've got his. We have an identity on him. At least we know what he looks like, and then we can track him to his house, and then just ask him.
Well, the real thing I want to know is,
Run him with this.
am I going to be able to shoot a rocket into this facility?
Oh, maybe when it's
do that
all
whenever
over.
you want.
Or you could do it tonight.
You know, if you have a decent accelerant, you can help us out with Frank here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't want you to blow the poor boy up, but I might be really quick if you want to put an M80 in his head.
I don't want that
Good
stuff
God.
to go over the place. No.
I hope that actually kills him. What if it doesn't? What if he ends up in little chunks all over and he's still alive? We got to burn
him. They're incinerating. And this is probably what was happening. They were going to incinerate the entire dog. Maybe the scientist cut its head off before incinerating it. And then that's, of course, it's a smaller pack, smaller object to send.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Seems like we got a plan.
I think there's some little outdoor barbecues out back. We could probably use one of those, get a fire going in it.
Yeah. Is Agent Mailman still out there, or did he come back?
I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody has reconvened at this point.
Well,
Does anybody have any
Found a
religious
squirrel.
feelings? Do they want to say anything over poor Frank's
Frank,
body?
We'll crack a beer open. How about that?
I have something to say. To Frank, the first time I saw you, my first thought was gross. And that hasn't changed much. To Frank.
Here's to Frank.
Frank. I hope your next life when you come back is not so traumatic.
Hope you stay ahead of the game next time.
Yeah.
Don't lose your head.
You know, now I'm thinking about something else now that we're watching Frank burn.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, it doesn't make much sense to do an experiment on a dog.
Why is that?
And you saw a dog runt. Maybe this was a guard dog. And there was an accident instead.
Yeah, it was a Doberman, so definitely an appropriate breed. Was not.
Oh, it's a Doberman now? I thought he was
it's a German Shepherd.
German Shepherd.
Is that what I said? Whatever I said
Yeah.
last time. Yeah, German Shepherd.
But either way, those are
Both of them are guard dogs, so that makes sense.
Yeah, so he's a guard dog. He wasn't an
That's a good point.
experimental dog.
maybe.
I
it wasn't
really
that
think
bad.
we need to start duct taping this squirrel. We need to see what's going to happen.
I
I feel
tried
like
to
this will
get
be the key to the whole case.
I tried to get access to their facilities, because, like you can get samples and stuff as you're walking around, just some dust or some, and see if there's any chemicals going on, but they won't let me in.
But you didn't try the space program option.
Oh,
Space squirrel. Did you get water? Did we get some samples of the river?
I was planning to do that while I was out.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see.
I
What we got.
assume you did.
I can analyze that for you.
Sure.
Because if that's a guard
Weird
dog,
agent
it would
is-
indicate that there was some type of leak,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it could be an accident. Maybe it's like an
Yeah.
accidental, like experimental thing.
Yeah, something could have got out accidentally and
All right.
tested the dog, but
Anyway.
the dog needed to be, the idea was it malaria, it had to be immersed into something, right? So maybe it fell into something.
It's
Get it through its entire body like that.
Yeah, it would have to. I think it would have to be submerged or immersed or something in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I would think if it was an animal that they were doing testing on, it would be a rabbit or maybe even a chimpanzee.
No, it's a very good point. I mean, I didn't think about that, but yeah.
It didn't hit me until just now, looking at poor Frank. Oh, I should put the doggy toy in the fire as well. No, I'm going to keep the doggy
Keep that
toy.
for memories.
Memento mori.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, run those-
But you said an accident. Maybe an accident happened.
so Agent Malarity, if you do analyze the water samples that Agent Mailman got for you, you do it certainly is not comparable to the samples you took directly from Frank. You do notice some trace particles of that unusual elements. Yeah, the same elements that were in the dog's head.
And this came from the Milk River.
Yes.
Dear
man.
God.
We need
If
to go
this stuff
fishing.
is getting out into the if it's getting out, what happens? You have people catch fish and eat it, and it's got this chemical in it.
Right. I mean,
100 years from now, people are going to say all the people in this town are living to be 150 years old and turning blue.
yeah, I got a pack of bottled water in my trunk. I'm gonna go ahead and pass that out.
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
Definitely.
Yeah, bottled water only. I can't tell you how many of these missions we've been on where it's always been bottled water.
It's always the water.
It's always the water.
They get you.
Is there a giant copper mine anywhere around? It's always the copper mine.
all right. I like the plan. I like staking it out again and see if we pick up this scientist.
And shooting the rocket in.
And always the space squirrel.
I'll hold up a cardboard box with makeshift holes poked in. I'm like, I got the squirrel.
Oh, God, I don't give a shit about squirrels. They're nasty creatures.
That's going to mess up the
Rats of the
aerodynamics.
trees. Fuzzy tree rats. They're always laughing at you in their indignation.
Got a squirrel picked up close to the Milk River. Maybe you want to test it.
Oh, we should do
That's-
some animal testing of things near the river.
You can open that box if you want to, but I'm not.
No, I know that song.
Pissed off squirrel.
The squirrel went berserk. No, but now I do want to go down to that river and take some insects and, test the pollywogs and the bacteria living in the water. Good God.
Get some nets. We could take some nets and go downstream and, grab a few things.
Maybe we should alert the bring in a raiding party or something.
Can we actually order that?
I don't know. That might be a little bit beyond us because they'll figure out where we came from. If we could trump up some idea of how to get it to happen.
Well, I mean, what's our best bet? I mean, how many agents need to be out there for surveillance, and then a few of us run down and grab some,
Well, I'm kind of unobtrusive. I just look like a scientist, so I can go down there and get some animal samples. See if I can find any salamanders or crawfish, crawdads.
Yeah, you could definitely catch some animals, things like that. Take soil samples too if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's good. Good point too. What time of day is it?
At this point, it's probably getting into the evening. You guys have had a pretty busy day so far.
That's a good time to collect bugs.
Grab some frogs.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. You don't have to come with me if you don't want to. Why don't you guys order some pizza?
Regarding the water samples and things like that, why doesn't anybody who has it can make a law roll for me?
Law?
Oh,
Let's see if anybody has it.
Oh,
Think of something.
Yeah. I have law, and I failed it.
Well,
I got an 18 out of 0, so I failed.
I failed mine.
Oh,
You can always call the EPA on like that if it is truly contaminated.
But that's happened before, and every time they get inspected, it takes a month, and by the time the EPA gets in there, there's no problems.
Yeah, they clean it up real quick, or they're handing off whoever's the inspectors rolling in. We can take our samples to a independent, different EPA office.
We could call our handler and tell him that they're dumping something in the water.
That doesn't seem very conducive to a cover-up, though.
Well, no, but he could order an airstrike, or who knows what.
Well,
Sure.
well, I would love to see an airstrike. I think that might be a little bit.
The only thing is, if you airstrike the building and blow it up, you might be blowing that chemical all over the place.
Exactly.
And a lot of innocent people that just happen to work there.
You know what? In addition to getting my animal samples and so forth, I'm going to see if I can come up with some sort of chemical compound that will neutralize this stuff. Maybe cause it to combine with other, like graphene or something like that, that'll turn it inert and it'll just precipitate out of I don't know.
Yeah, like activated charcoal or something.
Yeah, something that'll clean it out of the water.
Yeah, if you had any idea of what it was or how it worked, you might be able to do that. But starting off of nothing, that
would take forever.
Any amount of time really to identify what it was and what substances interact with it in what way. That's really not something you could do.
10 years, 20 years to figure out.
Yeah, that's not something you could really do within the scope of this mission.
Well, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'll go out and I'll collect some samples. Maybe on the way back, I'll pick up some ice cream or something. We have any?
I'll go out with you just in case to be your eyes.
Do we have any preferences for ice cream? Celebrating Frank's demise.
This is important. I'm going to write this down.
Yeah, I like chocolate.
Yeah, get the chocolate with chocolate chunks.
Oh, yeah, like the fudge brownie. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Strawberry.
Oh,
strawberry.
Always has to be one in the group.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can have the whole strawberry thing.
I like strawberry, but only when it doesn't actually have the chunks of strawberry in it. I don't know why, the texture of the fruit in ice cream just does not do it for me.
You get strawberries and put them on top, but
strawberry is a middle child ice cream because the firstborn child always eats the vanilla. The youngest always eats the chocolate, and then it's just the middle child who's left with the strawberry and has to enjoy it.
Well, I am sorry. I had no idea we were playing a ice cream purist simulation.
It was a controversial issue. We threw down. It was bad. We can pick up both. How about that?
Well, I'll pick up whatever. Yeah.
I will give you money for the strawberry. I won't sell it your wallet.
I have to pick it up out of the case, though, and move it around, smell it.
You know what? I'm just going to walk out and
No. We're just giving you a hard time. Because only weirdos eat the strawberry stuff because, it's just chemicals. Now we'll make it. We'll bring out and get the ready whip too.
Do you
All
have a
right,
way
so
to knock this squirrel out?
I'm going out with midnight.
Let's use the smoke from the fire to just smoke him carbon monoxide.
Knock out the squirrel. Oh my God. I'm glad I left.
So I don't want him to blow up. I want it, I'm gonna like do it in terms because he doesn't know what he's talking about. I want one booster to pit him towards the center of the facility, and I just want to see how they react. But I don't want it to blow up.
Don't worry, I was thinking about this the entire time. We have a rocket constructed with 2 motors that can launch him up. When the motors burn all the way to the top, they'll burn into a very small ejection charge. The squirrel will be tied to the ejection charge with a parachute. Parachute will open. Squirrel parachutes down to safety within the facility.
That might be the best idea I've ever heard.
And we write like some eco-terrorist letter inside it.
Stop
So they
poisoning
think it
our
was them.
water or something like
Yeah,
that.
stop poisoning the Milk River.
I think this is logically sound and it should happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not there anymore, but it should be a note like "Don't squirrel with us" or
Oh, there we go.
That's great.
"Don't squirrel with our," yeah, something, because we
Nothing
think
pisses
you're
off an evil
nuts.
overlord like a pun.
Of all
We
the plans I've heard, this is certainly one of them.
We used to think you were crazy, but now we can see you're nuts. Squirrel
Genius.
nuts.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it.
Yep.
We got it.
All right.
Don't do the squirrel thing while we're collecting water samples and insects.
We'll do it as you're leaving. It'll be good cover for you.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna catch bugs and water bugs and dragonfly nymphs and
Yeah.
tadpoles.
So we will call that Tuesday night then. So we'll be moving on to Wednesday for the next. And yeah, if once Agent Malarity does return, if you do some more of your tests on it into the wee hours of the morning, and yeah, the results are the same as the water, the soil and the animals downstream of the plant all have trace elements of this compound in them.
Do I find any that exhibit immortality?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so either this make a chemistry roll for me.
You need a fairly high amount of the stuff in order to become immortal. 15 again out of 70. I think
Okay,
that's
yeah.
best.
So with a success, what you can, without any more information, this tells you that either there's either like a small amount of it is being leaked out, or whatever exposure occurred happened some time ago.
Yeah.
It's not like a continual thing.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, so you're saying I'm finding that it's not continually leaking, but that there may have been a leak at some point?
Yeah, those are the two conclusions you could draw based on what you're seeing. You don't know more about the facility to know which of those is true, but just based on
Right.
how small the amount of the chemical is, and the fact that the animals and stuff are not showing any outward signs of its effect. Yeah, either it's
Right.
they were
The liquid
exposed to.
blue,
Yeah.
the liquid blue has been somehow metabolized for quite some time. I don't know how long, but the water itself seems to be clean, even though the animals and the objects seem to have something in them. Ooh, there should be a way I can extrapolate time. I don't know.
You could try something with the food chain, like it would collect most in the predators, right?
Mhm.
Well, if I found certain insects that wouldn't have been born yet, and that they had nothing, but then all of a sudden you find something that's, I don't know, 6 months old, and it has stuff in it. Am I able to extrapolate something like that? If there was an accident, when it would have happened?
Mm,
I feel like maybe we're asking too much of the game.
yeah,
I'm
I
being
don't,
really
I,
technical.
yes. Yeah,
Right.
I don't think without knowing more about how this compound behaves, you'd be able to necessarily
Okay.
determine that.
Okay.
Yeah, you because I don't know that much about chemistry myself, but I'm thinking you're thinking more about like the half-life of the chemical and things like that. Like how long has it been present? Is it breaking down? Like without knowing more about these compounds that are totally alien to you, you can't really say how they would be behaving in the environment.
Right. Okay. So what are we going to do in the morning?
I think
I
at
say
least
we
some.
visit that girlfriend again.
Oh, and we're going to watch the scientists.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
yeah. I mean,
So
yeah,
it's
you could go back and try and talk to the girlfriend again. She works nights, so if you go back later when she's not sleeping, she might be more tenable to a conversation. And yeah, at least some of you are going to stake out the place and try and spot the person that Mars
yeah.
saw on the post office cameras that delivered
If
your famous package.
I'm thinking about maybe looking up the friends too of Thomas and just see if they are around.
Yeah, Charles Lohorn and Jacob Left Hand. You
Yes.
can look them up as well.
Yeah,
so, I would suggest if we've got the equipment, we can stake out a surveillance of the facility,
Mhm.
hide, more or less kind of in the bushes or wherever that we won't be seen,
Mhm.
say 7 a.m., and then wait for each scientist to arrive and park his car, take his picture, and then later we can identify who all of the scientists are that are involved, and we've got their picture, and then in the afternoon we can follow them home.
Yeah, I imagine you could have some kind of telephoto lens or something to
Yeah.
take pictures with from a distance away. Okay, that sounds like a plan then.
One
But
day, someday in the future, we'll have telephones that have cameras in them, and
that's crazy.
it's crazy. Why
That'll
would you
never
put a
pan out.
camera on a telephone?
Why would anyone ever want that? Why would I want to take
they'll
a
be
picture while
putting
I'm talking to somebody on the phone? It doesn't make any sense.
next they'll be putting music on it.
Music on a camera? That's crazy.
So
And
there's going to be this show with a talking dog and a guy from Rhode Island as well.
No one cares about Rhode Island. That'll never fly.
Nothing ever happens.
all right, so
All right.
So how does the squirrel thing work out?
it exploded.
Are we really doing that?
Yes.
They got really drunk and went out in the middle of the night and did it.
That's how the scenario.
I honestly want to see how their security reacts to a situation.
Cut off their security.
It gets halfway over the fence before surface to air missiles take it out.
Exactly. We have to know.
Now we know. Now we know an airdrop is not possible.
So what's next?
Mars, you want to go with me? I'm gonna hit the other
Yeah.
two
Yeah, I'm happy to
friends.
tag along and work with that.
We could always ask the girlfriends again, but I'm not quite sure what to ask her yet.
I don't either without being
We
more
need a-
detailed.
Yeah, we need
I'm
a
not
clear
sure.
question. Let's just go see if the friend or his, Thomas's friends, Tommy's friends are around. Or,
Okay.
if they're missing too, then wow.
We're doing the
Then we
picture
know.
thing.
Yeah. You guys can always try being a little pushier. Pretty
Oh,
nice
yeah.
so far. Okay.
That's
About
that's
9:57. Do we want to call it there with our plans to
Yeah.
continue next time?
Oh, it's
Yeah, we're at
9:50.
5 minutes till.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. We know what we're going to do next time.
Yeah. That sounds like a
Our players included Julian Arba, Thomas Grooms, Joseph Clay, Max Meltzer, and myself, with Robert Bocchiere as the handler. We have a Discord server where you can chat with other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows, free for you to download from Spotify, Podbean, or iTunes. Support for the show is provided by our patrons who are listed in the closing credits. If you would like to show us your appreciation, please visit our Patreon page listed in the description, or you can use the thanks button just below the screen. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows, and leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Delta Green role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.